Good morning, students. We will continue with classification of elements in periodic tables. We have completed the historical periodic tables up to Mendeleev, and today we will discuss about the modern periodic table. This periodic table is given by Moseley, one of the very important British scientist, Henry Moseley, in 1913. It means more than 100 years have gone when this modern periodic table was established, but still we are calling it modern periodic table. So before discussing the periodic table, we should know certain terminologies or certain words. We all know them, but I am quickly revising. There are few metals, non-metals, metalloids, and 2-3 more. So first we should know, because this table is the classification of metals, non-metals and metalloids. Today we know 118. Total number of metals, non-metals and metalloids are 118. And these all 118 are classified. This is a blank table. I have just drawn a ghost of the table. This is blank and we will fill all the elements in this when we will discuss the different metals and non-metals in the table. So now 118 elements, they are filled in this table. So this is a table of metal, non-metal and metalloids. So we should know in brief, just a quick revision, what are metals, non-metals and metalloids. Metal, all of you know, are the elements which tend to form cations. So the elements which form cations or positive ions, they are known as metals. Likewise, non-metals are elements which tend to form anions or negative ions. So these are non-metals. And what are metalloids? Metalloids have the property of metals and non-metals both. So they are in between and they are here in the table forming a zigzag line. In this table, on the left side metals are there and on the right side non-metals are there, and in between along with the zigzag line, some metalloids are there. Metals, you know, like aluminium, iron, then gold, silver, copper, these are metals. Non-metals, you know, non-metals are hydrogen, oxygen, carbon, silicon. The silicon is metalloid, so these are non-metals. Chlorine, bromine, these are non-metals. Metalloids are some like silicon, germanium, polonium, antimony, so these are, and even boron, these are metalloids. So some metalloids, so these are 3 types of elements which are classified in this table. Along with these elements, metal, non-metal and metalloid, we should know something about what is electropositive nature of elements. It is known as electropositive or metallic character. So this is one and the same thing. Electropositive nature or metallic character of elements. What is this? So the elements which lose electron readily. Those are electropositive or metallic character. What are metals? The elements which lose electrons readily. Those are metals, and this character is metallic character or electropositive character. When they lose electron, what is left? Positive or cation is left. So the other is, and the other is electronegative character or non-metallic character. What is electronegativity? Electronegativity is the elements which are having a tendency to gain electrons readily. They do not lose electron, they gain electron. When elements have the tendency to gain electron, it is known as electronegative character or electronegativity, and it is a non-metallic character. When they gain electron, they become anion or having a negative charge on them. So these are what is electronegative and electropositive characters. The next we are having characters of basic oxides. What are basic oxides? Basic oxides, they are formed by metals. Basic oxides are formed by metals. And the oxides or the basic oxides, when they react with acids, they form salt and water. So this is the tendency of basic oxides. They are from metals and they form, when they react with acids, they form salt and water. And characters of acidic oxides. Basic oxides are like NaOH or KOH. Acidic oxides are of non-metals. When they react with bases, they form salt and water. So these are some of the terminologies. And non-metallic oxides, you know, are of acidic oxide, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide. These are acidic oxides of non-metals. So these are some words you should know the terminology. One more, and that is an important one, about the atomic size. What we call as atomic size and how to measure this atomic size. All of you know, we study atom like a sphere. In the center, nucleus is present, where protons and neutrons are present, and these are orbits where electrons, they are rotating. So what is the atomic size? Atomic size is said as the atomic radius. It is also known as atomic radius. From the center of the nucleus up to the last shell, the distance between the center of the nucleus up to the last shell is known as atomic radius, and it is measured in picometers, a very small unit, and 1 meter is equal to 10 to the power, so we should write 12 picometers. I think we should not put these dots. So it is a very small unit. It means after 1 we have to put 12 zeros. So 1 meter is equal to 10 to the power 12 picometer, and atomic radius, it is measured in this small unit, picometers, and atomic radius is the center of the nucleus up to the last orbit. So these certain terms we will use when we will describe our modern periodic table. So I have just told that it is given by Henry Moseley, a very young scientist, in 1913, and he met a tragedy. He put this table in 1913, and later he joined the British Army. World War first was broken and he joined the British Army, and in 1915 he was killed when he was during the war. So at the age of only 27 years he was killed, and the world has lost a brilliant scientist like Moseley. He might have achieved the Nobel Prize, but before that he was killed in the battle. So this is how Henry Moseley was there. He was given a very meticulous and very good, excellent periodic table, and he put all the metals, all the elements at his time, and later at his time only 6 periods are there, and later when further elements were discovered, a new period was formed without disturbing the table. So I am coming to this table. So what is his law? Law of Moseley periodic. It is known as modern periodic law. Now we know why these laws are known as periodic. We have studied this. So the modern periodic law, you just remember it by heart, learn it by heart. What is that? Is properties. First learn the word properties. Each law, it is started with the word properties. Properties of elements are, why elements? Because this table is of elements. Properties of elements are the periodic function of their atomic numbers. So this is the first time we are using the word atomic number. Till Mendeleev, atomic masses were used to describe this table. This is the first time Moseley said that atomic number is more fundamental property of atom than the atomic mass. So how the definition goes? The definition goes, this is the definition. Properties of elements are the periodic function of their atomic order from left to right. Atomic numbers are written here from left to right, and atomic numbers are arranged in their increased order. Then what happens? The properties of elements, they repeat after a regular interval. That there is a periodicity in the properties of element, and this periodicity is due to the periodicity in their electronic configuration. So we will discuss that there is a periodicity in the properties and also the periodicity in their electronic configuration. So what is, I am again repeating the same definition, that when atomic numbers are arranged in increasing order, then what happens? The properties of the element, suppose here these are different atomic numbers, they are in increased order. Then after this, the property of some other element will be repeated after a regular interval, and then this element will come under this element. That is, there will be periodicity in the properties of elements. And why this periodicity is there? Because the electronic configuration of this and this element, they are similar. They are also periodicity in the electronic configuration. All of you know what is electronic configuration. Suppose again I am taking the example of carbon. All of you know what is electronic configuration. Suppose this is atom of carbon. The atomic number of 6. So it will have 6 protons and it is having 6 neutrons present in the nucleus. And in the first shell 2 electrons will be there, and in the second shell 4 electrons will be there. There will be 2 shells, and we can show the electronic configuration like this, or we can just show the electronic configuration like this, 2, 4. This is the short notation of electronic configuration. So we can write in short EC or electronic configuration as 2, 4. 2 are the electrons in the first shell and 4 are the electrons in the second shell. Like suppose we have taken magnesium. The atomic number here, the atomic number is 6. Magnesium, the atomic number is 12. Atomic mass is 24. So 12 protons and 12 neutrons will be there. 2 electrons will be there. 8 will be here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there is a third shell also where 2 electrons will be there. So EC of magnesium will be 2, 8, 2. That is total atomic number 12. So EC will be in K shell, L and M. In first shell 2, L shell 8 and M shell 2. So this is in short notation the electronic configuration of magnesium. So this is how we write electronic configurations, and you have learnt these configurations in your previous classes. So this is how we explain, Moseley explained the law of chemical classification, law of classification of elements. Properties of elements are periodic function of their atomic number. Now we have explained the atomic number is the fundamental basis of characters of atoms. Why atomic number is fundamental character and not the atomic mass is the fundamental character as was given by Mendeleev, we will just see. All of you know that 3 subatomic particles in a metal, in an element is neutron, all of you know, proton and electron. These are the subatomic particles. So suppose again take the example of carbon. This is the nucleus of carbon. 6 proton are there and 6 neutron are there. Suppose 1 neutron increases, then what will happen? Or 2 neutron, this carbon is having atomic mass 12. What is atomic mass? Atomic mass is P plus N. Proton plus neutron is the atomic mass. So this carbon will have atomic mass as 12. Suppose we have one more carbon which is having 8 neutron. So what will be the atomic mass of this carbon? N plus P, the atomic mass will be 14. So now the atomic mass is increased but the element remains the same. This is also carbon and this is also carbon, although the neutrons they have changed, they have increased. So by changing the neutron, it may be less or it may be more, the element or the carbon atom remains the same. The element remains the same. It is carbon here and it is carbon here. It means neutron cannot be the fundamental property of element as the element remains the same. Now suppose electrons are changed. Now carbon, it has 2 shells, 2 here and rest of the 4 they are here. Here also in 14 also 2 electrons are here and 4 electrons are here. Suppose one of the electrons is given out, then what will happen? If one of the electrons is given out, then this carbon atom will be a cation. One electron is given out, so here electrons will be 5 and protons are 6. So one positive charge will be on the carbon. And here suppose one atom, one electron is coming to the carbon, then what will happen? It will have one negative charge. So if electrons are increased or decreased, the atom become a ion. It may be an anion or it may be a cation. It converts to an ion. But the fundamental element that it remains carbon. It becomes ion of carbon, but it remains carbon. So these electrons also cannot be the fundamental property of elements. Now coming to protons. Suppose here are 6 protons and it is carbon. Now suppose the protons, they become 7 and electrons are equal to protons. The number of electrons is equal to the number of protons. So in the outer shell, instead of 4, there will be 5 electrons now. Now, is this element is carbon? No, this element is not a carbon atom, because here instead of 6 proton, there are 7 protons, and now it is nitrogen. So when protons are changed, the element does not remain the same element. It becomes some other element. So number of proton, it determines the name of the element, the property of the element. If protons are changed, then the element is changed. What does it mean? And this atomic number, it depends on the number of protons. So protons and neutrons, they form atomic number. If neutrons are increased or decreased, then the atom remains same. But if protons are increased or decreased, then the element is changed. Suppose instead of 6, it has 5, then it will become boron. So the atomic number is the fundamental property of element and not the atomic mass. I think you have followed what I tried to explain. That is, atomic number is the fundamental property of an element and not the atomic mass. So this is one thing we want to discuss, and the other thing, now coming to this table. As it is a blank table, just a frame of the table, a ghost. So what you have seen here, we will fill different elements in the table. First we will see these are vertical columns. So there are 18 vertical columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 and 18. And these vertical columns, they are known as groups. In periodic table, these vertical columns, they are known as groups. And these are groups, so 18 groups are present. Vertical columns, they are known as groups. And now coming to this side, these are horizontal lines. And these horizontal lines, rows, you can say lines or horizontal rows. These horizontal rows in this classification, they are known as periods. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 periods. So 7 periods are there and 18 groups are there, and elements are arranged in this framework of periodic table. When Moseley has given his periodic table, only 6 periods were there, and later when more elements are discovered, they were put under 7th period. This is how. And what are the characteristics of these periods and groups? So first I will number. This is, suppose it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20. What this 1 to 20 looks like? It is like the roll numbers of the students in attendance register, or it is some numbers just 1 to 20? Yes, these are numbers, but they are the atomic numbers of elements which are present in these boxes. So now the table is very easy. In Mendeleev, we have to remember the atomic masses. They are different. They are not growing in this fashion. But here the atomic numbers, they are in a consecutive order. What does all of you know what is consecutive? 1 after 2, 2 after 3, 3 after 4. So 4 after 3. So these are the consecutive numbers, and these numbers are the atomic numbers of the elements. So now it is very easy to remember what elements are present when we know their atomic numbers. Their atomic numbers are in a consecutive orders, in a series. So this is the first period having 2 elements. This is the second period. This is the first period having 2 elements. This is the second period having 8 elements. This is the third period again having 8 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 elements. And this is the fourth period having 18 elements. So in our syllabus, in 10th syllabus, we have to study up to 20, atomic number 20. That is 20 elements we have to study, and rest we will discuss with other characteristics of metals and non-metals. But up to 20, we should know each and every character of these elements. Now I want to fill the elements. What are the elements which are present up to 20? This is hydrogen, the lightest element. This is helium, the inert gas. Then lithium, then beryllium, Be. Then boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine and neon. Then sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, then phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, and then potassium and calcium. So this is the order, and we have to write in this order only because the atomic number of calcium is 20. The atomic number of oxygen is 8. Now we are not concerned with the atomic masses. They have different. As the atomic mass of oxygen may be 16 and 18 both. They are isotopes. Like carbon, you know, the atomic mass may be C12 or C14. These are 2 isotopes of carbon. When the neutrons are 2 more in carbon 14. So these are the atomic number which cannot change. If it is carbon, it should have the atomic number 6. So this is how the atomic numbers, they are present in a consecutive order. So the metals or non-metals, they should be present in this series. And what you have, so this is again hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. sodium, magnesium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, potassium and calcium. Up to 20. In first period we have 2, in second period we have 8, in third period we have 8, and fourth period we have 18, but we have to study only 2, potassium and calcium. So this is how 20 elements, they are arranged in periodic table. On this side they are metals, and on this side they are non-metals, and in between, like boron, silicon, they are metalloids. So further we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.